understand? The second
no, but
one, you're talking about
okay, but okay, go on.
how to
Go on. No, but what I'm gonna say was
you're talking about how the second one is about what to do with the people talking Biafra all over the place.
yes. Are you not able to find a common ground with them? Because you know what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying this.
Listen, you have asked your
no, I want to say
your
something.
question. You've asked your question.
No, I
Let
want
me
to say
tell
something
you
because
what
they came out the other day. Can I say something quickly? They came out the other day and they now have a plan. They have a new plan now. I don't know if you've heard about.
You say what? They did what?
They have a new plan now.
You say what?
They have a new plan.
You said they have a new plan.
Yes, and the new plan enumerates a lot of things that make sense. So if you haven't listened to it, I'll suggest you go and have a listen, and maybe that will help you find common ground.
Listen, you've asked your question. I've heard you.
Okay.
They said they had no plan for the Biafra. They were advertising all the while, for which large numbers of people have been killed. Igbo goodwill have been messed up. We have been presented to the global community as a community of liars and violent people. That's what they've done so far. That's what they've contributed so far to the entire campaign. To cause setback for us in the places we already built alliances. To cause setback for us in the places where the narrative, something the US and other countries have already embraced as how this problem will be solved. So they had no plan. And the emptiness of what the falsehood and propaganda they were carrying on with had collapsed on their head. So they're like thrashing around now to look for who to blame for how they failed. I actually had this morning I woke up, all kinds of people were sending me all kinds of information about how they say I was talking about how to kill. They say whether it's me and state security people discussing how to kill Nnamdi. Falsehood, the same propaganda, the same falsehood. If you listen to that tape, you will see at the beginning of it that I was reporting something that somebody else said to me. Listen to the tape. You will see it was something, a third-party thing I was reporting. And what was it?
Yes.
You remember when I think it was Heritage TV London or the Worship Media in Canada. I think it was Worship Media. Remember they had an interview with me sometime in May or so.
Yes.
And I had in that interview, because they were asking the same kind of question, why can't you all of you go and combine it? And I said in that interview that Nnamdi Kanu is a clear-minded criminal who came into this whole process for the pursuit of profit, personal benefits, nothing to do with the campaign of how our people will be liberated. And I wasn't saying so from the sidelines. I was saying so from many years of dealing with him to the point where I came to that conclusion firmly. And the facts behind it, the day our people get to know what they've done to injure this, to delay and derail this process, he will not find anywhere he can hide across the face of the world. But we said to ourselves, let us keep it on. We're almost getting to our destination. And now he comes to say it was against that background of because in a space of 3 weeks or so, I had almost 5 interviews. It was also in that period that the BBC interview came. And so this reverend gentleman from the Vatican, a Catholic priest, who was now asking, who is this Ellen? He was hearing on all those interviews. He made contact with me, and he was now reporting to me that he had dealt with the people, these same people, thinking they were genuine in search of Biafra, and that he found that they were fraudsters, that they were scam. And I left with him, it would have been a matter of just shoot aside for all of them who are involved in it because of the number of people that have been killed at home, because they also have their people reporting from home. You saw the video in which the church service in TKC, in the Catholic Cathedral in Aba, was disrupted by people who were searching for Biafra in the altar. And so that was the circumstance under which that thing was, the voice, the recording that was done was by the younger brother of Chika Edozie, who is, I understand, is the IPOB coordinator in Europe. I don't know him. I've never dealt with him. It was his younger brother who lives in Dayton, Ohio, that called me. He says he's an Anglican priest. He called me to say this thing you are saying, that these people are, operating a criminal enterprise, that's the IPOB, is something set up as a scam. My brother of the same parents is involved with them. Can you tell me what it is that they are doing so that I can go to Switzerland where he lives and confront him?
Yes.
I was trying to explain to him what this same thing I've explained to you now. He wasn't willing, he wasn't listening at all.
Yes.
And I told him, look, you may think I'm making these things up.
Yes.
But things have gone so bad that a Catholic priest told me from Vatican that if he had his way, it will be a matter of shoot aside for all of them. And he can already see the people who were involved with him, who have left him, and who are now all out to get back at because of things that he had made happen to them.
So it wasn't something you said. You didn't say that.
If your brother is
it wasn't
involved,
something you said.
It
was something
you better go tell
you were relaying, and then you were relaying the discussion. Yeah.
You said what?
I said it wasn't something you said. You were relaying a discussion that people had. Yes. That's what you were just explaining.
So it was at the point I began to tell him that, because he wasn't listening to me, I said, okay, I've told you what I know. I've never dealt with your brother. I'm telling you what transpired between me and Nnamdi. And if your brother is part of our organization that is doing all these atrocities, you better go. He now turned around to tell me that he recorded what he was. I just laughed him off to say, look, there's nothing I've said here that I will not say in a meeting where they're present, that I've not said on national TV. If I could go to satellite TV 5 times in 3 weeks to say that Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal, a clear-minded criminal who came to make profit with this process, not that he's involved in anything at all, he's actually causing damage to the process. Then whatever you record, That's how you can. But he already recorded all of what is before he announced to me triumphantly that he recorded me. So I said, to hell with you. That's how it happened. In any event, I have to remind our people. That there's a saying that the truth travels around the world. And the falsehood travels around the world before the truth can even finish putting on his shoes to start the journey. You understand? So these falsehoods that are being peddled about all kinds of things, everything is lie, to the point where the federal government of Nigeria wanted to rely on the reputation of falsehood of IPOB to denigrate and distort what has been established as ethnic cleansing by Washington against Nigeria. They say, Garba Shehu say it is Nnamdi and his people that went to talk to America. Therefore, hoping that because of the lies that they have been known for, that the whole world will begin to doubt that killings are taking place. That was the calculation of Garba Shehu.
Okay.
To dispute the fact that they are killing people. And so, all these falsehoods are coming apart, and more will still come apart in the coming days. You see the number of people making frantic broadcasts. You think we organize them?
No.
How much less this semi-literate clown they call Simon Ekpa that will go to be making broadcasts and talking all kinds of rubbish? we pay no attention to them. Our people should know that more of such things. Desperation has set in. All of their claims are collapsing everywhere. And so more of telling lies will still happen. So our people should please be on the watch out for more of such lies that will be told. But instead of wasting their time on listening to those lies, we invite our people to invest their time in following up on this plan that will deliver the independence and the self-determination they are looking for. It's just something we have to let them know upfront, because as for whether more lies will be packaged and sold, it will happen. But we ask them to please look away from the lies and look beyond the lies and find out what actually happened. Look at the ones that have been said before and what they turned out to be. So you can imagine all the ones that will be following from there, everything, because for every one lie you tell, you need 10 other lies to cover them. That's what's happening to them. They have to manufacture 10 lies for every one old lie they told. So I think that's why we want to leave that one.
Okay.
You were talking about constitutional force majeure. This conclusion of the matter is, the conclusion of this whole matter is that these three blocks that have rejected this constitution in that 20-year plan, have come. You saw there was something of a timeline, the milestones and the timeline.
Yes.
I sent to
yes.
You can post them when you are in. You can display it in the.